All right, so on Maritime today, this morning, there's a whole lot of good news in the air. But beyond that, we want to look at effective strategies for trade facilitation, the Nigerian Customs Service dimension. And I've got two prominent voices. They've been championing the rights of those who do business in this sector, looking at best ways at which government can improve on its policies and implementation of such policies. Joining me in the studio this morning, Otumba Frank Ogunjemite is President, African Association of Professional Freight Forwarders and Logistics in Nigeria, AFLON. Nice to have you in the building. Otumba, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you and good morning to everyone.
Wonderful. Joining us on the phone line, Dr. Kayode Farrington Collins. He's the CEO of Wealth Honey Investment Nigeria Limited, and he's also former acting president, Association of Nigerian Licensed Custom Agents. Dr. Farrington, nice to have you. Good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Very, very good.
My learned colleague, how are you, sir?
my brother at left you. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, so we can all smile this morning because the news in this sector came in on Monday. That's the suspension of the 4% free on board levy. Let me start with you, Otumba. How did you feel when you heard that news on Monday?
Well, it's a good news to every one of us, and because on that day we were in the meeting with the CJ and Co on that day, and we heard the news. So it was a news and the wake-up call that the government is sensitive, that the minister is at the cry of the people. So we love it, despite the fact is the act, they did a miracle, and that's what Nigeria needs at this time.
All right, then, Dr. Farrington, I know you were away when we had this conversation about 2 weeks ago. We're still talking about some of these levies, and you were saying the way to go is for government to take action. So how do you feel now?
Yes, I feel delighted. It only shows that this government is a listening one, even though it's a bit late, but then at least it's better than never. So I want to commend government for at least coming and be proactive on this issue. If not, the spiral effect of it will have affected the economy adversely.
Right.
So I congratulate the Nigerians for this.
All right. You started this clarion call about 5 months ago when the 4% free on board levy was initially going to be introduced. You said, why would customs abruptly just introduce that? There should be proper enlightenment and all of that. And then the minister came in to bring in some intervention. Now we're having this again. Are we going to be going back and forth with this 4%? Dr. Farrington, what do you think?
No, it's just that they left what they are supposed to have done undone. And that is the issue of sensitization. And the fact that you must get the fillers before you just slam any levy or taxes on the citizen and on the cargo. We are talking of the same cargo. And we have over 8-9 charges on one cargo. And, you know, if you look at it in other climes, how is it done? We are not saying that government and customs should not have how to get funds for themselves. But let us do it in a better way, where there must be something that will cushion the effect of whatever we're doing. 4% on FOB is very, very outrageous and very ridiculous. Why don't we look at when the law was done? We advised them that let us look at cost insurance and fee. That is 4% of CIF. It will be more mild and better than 4% of FOB. So that is not exactly taking us back to where we are. There must be enough sensitization.
Okay, so
which was not done, and that is why we are going back now to the drawing board on the issue of sensitization. It does not mean that the law, the charges have been abrogated, though. It's a suspension.
It's a suspension, yes. That's what we say.
It's a suspension. So
all right.
What it means is that by now, customs should put their house in order and do enough sensitization. So maybe come January 2026, so like with all stakeholders, so we want to implement this. What is your opinion about it? There must be criticism. You look at it and we look at it, and before you know it, is acceptable to everybody.
All right, Otumba, from what you see, can this ever be implemented? I mean, we're just looking at the current realities that are facing everyone in this sector. Do you think, even in January 2026, can we come to a time when we say this is the right time for us to now introduce this 4% free on board tax?
To me, because it's an act, it's going to come to place. But my concern is that if the government need to make some decisions now, they look other way around. For instance, the 7% surcharge need to be reviewed, because the port is being consexed. We have 7% surcharge there, and this 4% FOB. So to me, I think if they will probably implement this 4%, they need to look at the review on that 7%
as well,
because that one is aside, it's on an act. And the port is being concerned, and they're still collecting 4% for over 3 decades.
Right.
7% surcharge. So to me, this is going to be implemented very soon. It's suspension because it's an act. But the one that's on the act, we need to emphasize on that and speak to the minister on this to go to review and even audit the money that's being collected.
Let's talk about the customs, because all this is, the free on board is something that was supposed to be collected by the Nigerian customs. In terms of reforms, really, how has the customs performed? Let's begin to review that. This is 9 months down the line in the year 2025. How would you rate the Nigerian Customs Service and its operations?
To me, I will give custom kudos, because when the Web Frontier has left, they've been struggling with the Odogu platform, and then
the
Odogu, and now it's coming to stay, and it's our own. So it's not easy to invent new things or to have a new platform. Even the Web Frontier that has been there for a very long time, sometimes we have an issue a week or more than that.
All right.
You understand? So to me, I believe custom is doing well, and the proactive decision of the CG when things happen, to me, I give in kudos.
What's your own assessment, Dr. Farrington? I mean, he's saying the customs are doing well. What's your own assessment?
Yeah. I'm a teacher by nature, so I don't just assess students like that.
Okay.
I assess students based on factors. If I want to assess Nigerian Customs Service management team, I will assess them on 4 factors. The first one is revenue generation. If you talk about revenue generation, I would say I score them 90% because they have actually surpassed the revenue target given to them by federal government. If you talk about enforcement and security, that is talking about anti-smuggling, I will also rate them 75% because they're doing well. That's why the fact that we have unapproved routes through our borders and people are still being stopped. Look at the issue of petroleum product. It is this management team that actually make it now, and they have nipped it in the bud. That's that. If you talk about trade facilitation, I will score them very, very low.
Okay.
And what is trade facilitation? My brother just talked about Biodogu. Biodogu is supposed to be an indigenous thing. But when you are implementing an indigenous thing, we actually advise have a pilot scheme. They had a pilot scheme, and you are supposed to subject whatever system you want to bring on board to criticism and ensure that before you implement it for a national outlook, you have actually put your houses in order. For 3 weeks, you are unable to access documents, do declaration. Storages and demages were going. Are we facilitating trade? That's number one. The answer is 0. The other one is that the storages and the demages that has been accrued over how many billions of naira, where will it be transferred to? The answer is the final consumer, you and I. So if you are talking about trade facilitation, they are scoring very, very low.
Okay.
Because there is no key element factor, and that is engaging the stakeholders. If the man sitting beside you in front of you there is a guru in the industry, call other gurus in the industry, we want to introduce Biodogu, subject it to criticism, please assist us so that we will not have problem. And that is not done. Another factor is information management.
Okay.
It's a key thing in this era. When people are suffering and you are now killing information, you don't want Nigerians to know that this Biodogu has breaches here and there. There were periods for 2-3 days, their system was actually hacked. Nigerians were not giving information. So if I want to score this management team of customers, I don't just call them based on say they are no, I don't do that.
Right.
I'll put parameters and factors in place before I just call them. That's my personal opinion.
All right. So the Biodogu system that was introduced, even though it's an indigenous system, it appears it was not well thought out before implementation. That's what it means, Dr. Farrington.
Yes, that's what it means. And that's what, because when it was to be introduced, I am one of those that told them that we need an indigenous thing. It's enough of giving foreigners, Chinese, our money, they take it out of Nigeria before you know it, they come with portfolio. But with Biodogu, it will create something. What is it? We are going to make sure that whatever is generated is plowed back in the economy.
Right.
It will create more employment for Nigeria. It is an indigenous thing. It is our own. Tropically, it will be able to factor in our weather and whatever. But before you implement such thing, into the revenue generation or revenue collection, you have to look at the glitches. You even have to. That's what Americans will always employ hackers because they know that they could be bad boys, but they have their positive effect.
All right, just hold on 1 second.
They employ an hacker,
Yeah.
the hacker will tell them how it cannot be, in a surcharge, or how it cannot be beaten, or how it cannot be. All these things are things that they need to put into consideration. But it was not done.
All right,
it was already implemented. Hence, we have this crisis.
Okay, just hold on 1 second. I'm having a flash update from the control room. That's from the last mile operations of a fire outbreak. And this is within the Idumota corridor in between Taiwo Akoni and Broad Street. There's a fire outbreak there. Lasma, that's the traffic managers there, the police officials, traffic officers, and other sister agencies. Fire servicemen, I understand they are on ground discharging their duties as we speak. But it's having some effect on traffic. So vehicular movement from Tom Jones inwards journey Broad Street to turn right at Martins Junction, and from there you can connect Akmongbon to Tinubu Square back to Nnamdi Azikiwe heading towards Tom Jones. All right, so that's the alternative. Traffic situation around that area is very, very slow due to market activities, but I can confirm that the situation is very much under control. So those of you that are within that corridor, fire outbreak, that's around Taiwo Akoni and Broad Street. But of course, we're advising that motorists can, divert at that particular location. You're asked to turn right at that end. That's from Broad Street. You're advised to turn right at Martins Junction, connecting Akmongbon. And from there, you can link up with Tinubu Square back to Nnamdi Azikiwe, heading towards Tom Jones intersection to continue your journey. All right, so Biodogu isn't working well. Frank, it's too late to say we cannot continue with this, right? It's too late to say we have to introduce something else.
Yeah, but you see, I understood what Dr. Franklin is talking about. But my own concern is that even during the welfare thing, we still pass through a lot of issues like this. And when there's a downturn in the system, this does not only belong to Custom alone. If you look at about 2-3 weeks ago, we couldn't even do our activities at First Bank.
Yeah.
We have to raise eyebrow on that issues too. So what average freight forwarder would think about, is custom. In most cases, it's not custom as well. Well, I'm not saying that Odogun is perfectly doing, but we can do better. There can be improvement. I give kudos to him with the point he raised about other things they've done very well as well. But there will always be an improvement for things on that. So to me, I think the custom is doing better, but they can do more better than information management, like he said, all those things, late informations, engagement, stakeholder engagement is very important.
Right.
Of course, they started very well, and at this point, I don't know why they are taking backside engaging stakeholders.
Right.
So I think
is there anything that can be done, Dr. Farrington, if we have a lull in the system, for instance, a breakdown of the clearance system and all of that? If we have a breakdown, for instance, with Biodogu, and it runs like 1 or 2 days, is there anything that can be done about demurrage? Is there anything government can say, look, can there be a policy statement?
What I'm saying, nothing was done. You have to factor in all these things before you implement something for national revenue collection. Okay, invite the shipping companies, invite the terminal operators, and we want to implement Biodogu. Perhaps we are going to run into glitches. What is your support, shipping company? Are you going to waive demurrage for us? Terminal operator, are you going to waive storage for us? These were not put into consideration, and it was not done. And let me correct an impression. It was very obvious that during Westfontaine, we normally had downtown, but we have never had it exceeded 24 hours. But for 3 weeks, we could not do anything. For 3 weeks, that's beyond glitches. What is a glitch? A glitch is a situation where you have a system failure for a few minutes, a few hours,
right,
perhaps maybe less than 24 hours. But when it's running into 1, 2, 3 weeks, that damages are accumulating, storages are accruing, that is no more glitch. That is a complete system failure. And after that, you are supposed to have what is called a back end.
Okay.
If this deal doesn't fail us, what is our back end? What are we going to fall back on? Maybe to go back into manual process. All these things were to be factored in, which was not done. I'm one of those that said we need our indigenous thing for Nigeria. Nigeria has gone beyond saying we are bringing in foreigners, but we must put into consideration what is happening in other climes. Trade facilitation has gone beyond the way we are thinking about it. We are talking about door-to-door step.
Right.
Time is essential in the industry. But when you are making it to accumulate damages and storage, and I bring in consignment, it is people like my brother there, Otumba, that will pay because it's going to come to my market to buy it.
Dr. Faito, Dr. Alege, I want to interject with you. You see, I believe this problem started from the lack of national single window.
Right.
You know, I don't want to divide this conversation because if national single window is working, this will not happen.
Okay.
Don't forget that one has been one of the problems, and that's one of the 10 ministers said and during the Marriott summit that he is going to make sure that 25% in the port operation is abolished. You understand? So if he say he want to reduce the cost of operation of 25% and national single window is not working up to today, what do we do? If that's one in place, because that one could have included all of them together. So that's why the Shippers Council as well, you know, I need to speak to the terminal ship operator about the demurrage as well.
Right.
So what I think we should do is embrace national single window when everybody will be together. Okay. That could ameliorate the problems of the people as well.
Even the national single window you just mentioned, sir,
right,
is a very good ideology. It's needed in the industry. But we are still failing in one area. We are not bringing in key stakeholders, and that is you and I, the freight forwarders. We are supposed to be brought on board to look at it, to be part of the formation. But what they do normally, occasionally, is to call us on a seminar, is a Marriott hotel, and they will tell us what they are doing theoretically. When you are doing things theoretically, what about the pragmatic aspect of it? When it comes to practical, you will be marveled the way the thing will collapse. These are not put into consideration. We are stakeholders. You cannot shave my head in my absence.
Okay, all right.
Because this national single window will be used for good.
Right, I'm going to hold you on a bit. All right, Lagos Traffic Radio, that is 6.1 FM. This morning we're looking at effective strategies for trade facilitation, and we are just x-raying the performance of the Nigerian Customs Service in recent time. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, the Authorized Economic Operator Program has been introduced since February. How is that working? How is that faring from the perspective of Nigerian Customs? To reflect on that as well. And then we can also hear from you. You can join the conversation on 091-5387-7127. A brief break. We will be back.
Nigerian Shippers Council Day to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you. Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within on a needle. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem where shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. For you we dey gidigba. Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nanir.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, still on Maritime today. And of course, I've got two great minds on the program. I have Otumba Frank Ogunjemite, who is the president of AFLONG, and Dr. Kayode Farinto Collins, CEO of Wealth Honey Investment Limited. Both of them, they are on the program, and we're talking a whole lot of reforms as relates to the Nigerian Customs Service. We're still monitoring the fire outbreak at Idumota. Take note of that. It's at Taiwo Akoni, just in between Taiwo Akoni and Broad Street. And we're advising that from Broad Street, you can turn right from there to negotiate and then link up with Nnamdi Azikiwe to further link up with Tom Jones. All right, so if you want to join the conversation as well, feel free to do so, and that's on 091-5387-7127. 091-5387-7127. Dr. Farinto, I'm still going to get back to you because we are really want in terms of cargo clearance. How will you rate Nigeria as we speak today? There's always a whole lot of talk about the ports and all of that not working as it should be in comparison to our neighbors. So talk to me. Cargo clearance, where are we?
Well, what I can only tell you is that Nigeria is moving, but at what speed? At a snail's speed. When it comes to cargo clearance, it's not as if we are stagnant. We're not stagnant, because I remember 20, 30 years ago when people like us were younger agents, it has actually graduated from what it was then to what we have now. But ordinarily, in view of our population and the fact that Nigeria claims to be the highest and the largest of this in Africa, people expect us to move faster than this. We'll go to other climes, we'll see what is happening. And unfortunately, there's also a system failure. We do not have consistency in issue of policies. So it's not really making the trading community to be able to predict that in the next 10 years or 3 years, so this will still be in place. In view of that, this is what is happening. We still lose most of our cargo to neighboring countries, particularly project cargo. And this is not too good.
Wow.
It's not as if we're stagnant. I'm not a pessimist. But I believe that we should have moved further than this. That's what I'm saying.
Otumba, let's get back to that. So, in February, the Authorized Economic Operators Program was introduced. And I'm sure it's not going to be far, far different from, some other radical kind of policies that were introduced in the past. So, how would you assess that particular program?
Well, to me, I still couldn't be saying we need engagements. Stakeholder engagement. No matter whatever you introduce, there's no proper engagement with stakeholder like the Dr. has emphasized himself. You cannot get positive thing out of this, because when whatever is being introduced, then you have to look at implementation and the compliance. So all these things need an engagement before you put in place. Like you said, consistency is matter. It's not a matter of introducing things, and a lot of things that will be introduced that not be implemented.
All right, let's see if we can take some calls. Hello there. Good morning. Hello, Raphael. Okay, we'll try and see if we can connect with our live motorbike reporter who is on the road. Raphael? Okay, all right. So yes, go ahead.
So whatever is going to be introduced or being introduced, we need to engage people. We need to think about training. We need to look at the opinions and implementation of this. Like we are talking about cargo clearance and delay. You remember even when the MPA had meeting with shipping.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let's take that call from the live motorbike reporter. Hello, Raphael.
Hello, good morning, Richard. Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning, Raphael.
Just the area reported broken down at Mount 12.
Yes.
Though it's raining, but I'm still yet to get there to get more information. But before that, we also record a broken down of PAC truck at 7 of almost 2 of them, and in fact the same location contributed to the very busy movement at that at this 7 of now.
Okay.
And as usual, the traffic is very heavy now. There's no major breakdown along Ikorodu Road, and that 7 of connecting Ojota is due to the alternative route the motor is trying to fly to avoid the Fakon route.
Okay.
So it is very, very heavy at this moment.
Okay.
Down to Ojota, Maryland, as usual, is very, very heavy. So we don't have any major breakdown. In fact, from Mile 12 too, it's very, very heavy coming from Mile 12.
Oh.
The new one, as usual, is very free. Can you hear me, Victor?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, I will soon get back to you for more detail concerning the situation on the corridor.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Raphael. So the situation has changed now. Earlier on, things were a bit better, but he's saying right now Ikorodu Road is very, very busy. People making use of that corridor from I-12 down to Koshofe, K2, heading towards Ojota and even Maryland. He says it's a busy movement. Breakdown of compactor trucks around 7 up, he says. So that one too is receiving attention. All right, so I'm having some messages that are coming in for you guys. This one here says, good morning, Traffic Radio. There are so many customs officers at checkpoints on Lagos Badagry Expressway. Is that really part of trade facilitation or just revenue collection? Tunde is sending that one in. Tunde, thank you so much. Otumba Frank, what would you describe that? Because a lot of times when people go through that corridor, really, you have checkpoints here and they're almost like 10 meters.
Yes, of course. It's two-way. One, we can talk in case of security checks. that, okay, that place is closer to the border, they have to check. Another way, it's an impediment to ease of doing business. Because when you are talking about ECOWAS trade, and even within Nigeria itself, you are having a lot of checks, which is not the best. Because you release a consignment at the border and you keep checking people on the road. Of course, we expected some check, probably Federal Operations Unit, one patrol, a police patrol once there. So I think the government need to do something
about those kind of checks.
Yes, right, because it's becoming worrisome.
Yeah, this one here says, good morning, Victor. Why does it take so long to clear goods at Nigerian ports compared to other countries? Bolanle from Oshodi, sending that one. And thank you so much, Bolanle. Otumba Frank? Let me do that to Dr. Farrington.
Sir?
This caller, this person is sending a message to say, why does it take so long to clear goods at our ports compared to other countries?
Yeah, there are a lot of factors, and one of them is what we are trashing, and that's why we keep money on the issue of trade facilitation. Okay, if you have consignment 3 weeks ago, where we had a complete system knocked down on the Biodogu, what will you tell your customer?
Okay.
And this is what we're saying. So these are factors that are militating against it. We have many human factors, system failure, no consistency in policy. And that's why I said the maritime industry needs total overhaul.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about
overhaul.
As we gradually wind to the end, we'll talk about this overhaul. But another message here, it says, Otumba Frank, how can port congestion realistically be solved from your perspective? You didn't put your name, but thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, one of the reasons was the meeting we had on Monday, because we're talking about the cargo clearance, and one of the problem is what we have been discussing about.
Okay.
Well, if all the system is working very fine, there will no need for us to keep your cargo in the port, because keeping your cargo in the port doesn't come easily. It's charges.
All right.
So every freight forwarder would like to get the consignment out of the port, but when things beyond us, like downtown, bank downtown, some the system that are not working very fine, so of course there will be some delay. So then, as far as Nigeria concerned, we're supposed to work 24 hours like other country. We are even to work 5 hours in the day become an issue.
That's serious. So in 2025.
So if you can be working 24 hours and the light is there, the security is there, why not? We have to keep you.
All right. So we need very, very short answers as we round off the program this morning. Dr. Farrington, I mean, we had the presidential enabling business environment for some years now, and one of the things we were talking about then was the ports to operate at least like 24 hours. Why haven't we achieved that?
Yeah. In fact, when he got to the state, they were tired of listening to me, because I told them we do not have ease of doing business in the seaport. Ease of doing business was manifested in the airport. It's even manifesting. We are seeing it. But in the seaport, it's not happening because of various factors in place which were not checked. And government too has their own responsibility, which it did not live up to. For example, in the concessionary agreement, it was there that government should provide 24 hours electricity. Government first in this area, it is the various terminal operators that are providing it. So what do you expect? Okay. So there will always be transfer of charges, spiral effect of all this, and people are some agencies will deliberately delay cargo in the port, forgetting that cargo is accumulating demurrage and storage. Right, there are too many factors.
All right, we cannot deal with all the factors this morning, but gentlemen, as we round off the program, Otumba Frank, do we have the right men manning this sector from what you see?
Well, I want to believe so, but they need to engage stakeholders who really dominant in that area. Okay. Who are the guru, the technocrat, the emeritus, the industry need to be engaged sincerely.
So you can have political appointees, but then ensure that they work with technocrats. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's my own. And the minister should look at the consideration on the 7% surcharge that still be collecting for 3 decades without any transparency.
Dr. Farrington, what's your own take? Do we have the right men manning the maritime sector?
The answer is yes and no. In the area of customs, yes, because we have people who have risen through the rank and they cannot give us any excuse. And they've been going through international courses. Yes, in that area. But talking about blue economy, we don't have them. We have people who have the medieval knowledge, people who have worked in the 1960s in the railway and believe that they want to bring that archaic method or archaic idea. And we are millennial era.
Okay. All right.
Everything can be done through smartphone, and then these things are not put into consideration. You can't have a result when you are bringing in people of 70, 80 to come and man our ports in this era of 2026.
We'll leave it at that for now. Dr. Farrington, it's nice having you on the program. Thank you so much for connecting with us.
All
right.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay then, and Otumba Frank Ogunjemite, always a pleasure to have you, even at very, very short notice, to respond to our call. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right then, so we've been looking at effective strategies for trade facilitation, the Nigerian Customs Service dimension, and one of these days we'll try and see if we can have a conversation with the Controller General as he seeks to reform that aspect of trade facilitation. All right, we have to go. The program has been produced by Dayo Anthony. I say a big thank you to Rebecca Damu, who is Assistant Director of Public Relations for the Nigerian Shippers Council. Let me also appreciate Daniel Downsi and Remy Aluko, both of them of our social media unit. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a splendid day. Bye.
Nigerian Shippers Council Day to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you. Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council they feel in a parole now for every level, and as soon as goods they move from port A go enter port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem wey shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily lane. Papa email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818 888